For this course, we're going to be using the statistical software package SPSS. You can rent the package and install it on your own computer, or you can take advantage of the fact that MiraCosta will make SPSS available to you for free on what's called a virtual machine. MiraCosta has a server, and it's able to run off this one server all these different virtual machines. You could have 1,000 students connected to the server, and each have their own personal computer that will save their files from use to use. Every time they log in with their Surf ID and password, the server goes, oh, I know who you are, and here's your virtual computer with software on it. Software like Microsoft Windows, as well as our SPSS statistical software. Now, for our course, there's a couple different ways that you can get to this virtual computer that has the SPS on it. One way is from your computer, you could open up a browser and type in view.miracosta.edu, and it would then open up your virtual computer inside your web browser. So that's one way to do it. Another way is to install on your computer a client that will open up this virtual computer. And the client is more stable. So if you have a computer, then I recommend installing the client, which will give you access to this virtual computer. But let's say you're relying on a phone, then you would probably want to run this virtual computer inside of a web browser. I don't highly recommend that approach. It's not going to be quite as stable or positive of an experience, but if you don't have any other approach, then that's what you would do. But for everyone else, if you happen to have a PC or a Mac, I'll walk you through the steps for installing the client to access this virtual computer that you can use throughout the semester for our course. Okay, so here we're back at our course, and the first learning module is SPSS data entry, so I'll click on it. And I'm going to go to SPSS assignment, our first activity, right? And I'll scroll down to where it says Getting Started with SPSS. Click here for directions on how to get started with SPSS. So I'll click on that. And there's a couple different options. One is to install it. Another is to use the computer browser on like a Chrome or Firefox. Or another option is you could rent it, right? So we're going to talk about installing it. So there's a nice little handout here. Directions for installing VMware on your computer. Just click on that. And these are the steps that will walk you through the installation. So I'm just going to show that to you. So I'm going to open up a tab, and I'm going to type in here view.miracosta.edu. I'll press enter. And then this is like my welcome screen. I'm now interacting with that server, and it's saying, do I want to use the virtual computer in a web browser? Or do I want to install the VMware Horizon client on my computer? So I'm going to go with this later option to install it. And now it's saying, okay, are you installing it for Windows? Are you installing it for Mac? Or some other option here? We're installing it for Windows. But if you're doing a Mac, then you would do this for Mac. So I'll click Go to Downloads for Windows. But if you're on a Mac, you'd say Go to Downloads for the Mac. So here we go, Windows. Go to Downloads. And now I'll simply say Download Now. So it's going to go ahead and download it. It looks like it's about 239 megabytes. Okay, it's done downloading, so I'll just click on it to run it. And my computer says, do you want to allow this app to make changes to the device? And I'm going to click the yes little dialog. And now I have from VMware Horizon, it says you must agree to privacy agreement and license terms. So I'll click the green button, agree and install. So it's now doing the installation. Now it tells me that it's finished and it was a success. So I'll click the finish button. And now it's letting me know that I will need to restart the computer for these effects to take place. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the restart. Now that I've rebooted the computer, I'm going to go ahead and look for the VMware. I'm clicking in my little search window here, and I'll type in VMware. And you can see that I have VMware Horizon Client. Excellent. So I'll click on it to open. And it says new server. and I'm going to choose the view.miracosta.edu. If there wasn't that as an option already, you might be asked, hey, type in which server you want. So then again, you would type in view.miracosta.edu. And if you have any difficulties during this process, reach out to the Student Help Desk. They'll walk you through this. I'm going to log in using my Surf ID and password. And you'll be choosing the standard student desktop. You have to double click on it. And then it's loading up the virtual machine. I'm asked, do you want to share removable storage and local files when using remote desktop and applications? And I'll just go ahead and say allow. And now this is a virtual computer. It has software on it that's different than what I have. It has SPSS. I don't have SPSS. Here's something that's important to keep in mind. When you're using this virtual computer, you want to do everything for our class inside this virtual computer. You want to use, for example, Microsoft Word. You want to use the browser to access our class. You want to use the SPSS. Everything must be done from this virtual computer. And the reason why is that you can't easily copy and paste between the virtual computer and your actual computer. They don't play well together. So everything that takes place in the virtual computer, if you will, stays in it. So you'll want to start up Canvas to access our course inside the virtual computer. You'll start up SPSS to access the data. And you'll also use Microsoft Word. To find Word, there it is, Word. Now let's start up the Word. So those are the three apps that we're going to be using: Word, SPSS, and you'll likely be using Google Chrome to access our course on Canvas. All right, that's it.